Hey guys, welcome to my very first installment in my Muscle Mommy Diaries series. I just wanted to bring you guys into my world and introduce you to some of the most badass strong women in the content creator space. Today, you're going to learn all about one of my besties. You may know her across all platforms as REDSREFERENCES, but I know her as just Justine. Follow along, grab some tea or a coffee, learn all about her adventures in being a boxing instructor, creating fabulous cosplay wardrobes, and being a reference artist. I hope you love her as much as I do. Remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Hi guys! So I know we've been talking about this for several weeks and we're finally doing it. If you notice over here, I have a person. I have one of my people. I have made it a point to surround myself with very cool, very artistic people that have the same kind of wonky brains as me. So I'm very happy to introduce you to REDSREFERENCES, or
Hello.
my very good friend Justine. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, buddy. How are you today?
I'm good. I am taking a moment. This is a breath of fresh air, being able to just sit down for a second. I'm usually covered in dirt during the weekends.
Right, I can never get you. Like, I know when I text you, it's going to be minimum 2 hours before.
Dude, that's nice. Typically, I feel bad because I'm thinking like, oh, it's going to be 2 days.
No, you're actually pretty punctual with me, which is, I mean, your version of punctual.
Well, you my friend, I try. I try. It's hard balancing both. And then after the Instagram blew up, I feel even worse because I'm trying to talk to everybody. And like my top supporters, I don't really give my phone number out to people, but there's 2 people now who have 3 people who have my phone number who bought a ton of equipment for the kids. So I'm like, look, I have missed every one of your messages. Please, just here's my number. I will try to get back to you faster than I would on Instagram.
Dude, the Instagram, I've been watching and something happened. I don't know what the shift was. I think maybe because you started shooting on YouTube. And
I'm not sure. The video that picked up was there were 2 videos. One got way bigger than the other. I think one's up to like 7 million views. The other's kind of stuck at 2.5 million. I know. When you put million in there, it's like, oh my God. I didn't think that would ever freaking happen.
Famous now? Like, is that...
I would love that. I was an artist for like 8 years, and I think the most I ever made on an art piece was someone paid for the rights, and that was like a solid year for me because it was $800, and they just did that. I didn't give them a number because I actually drew the art for free because it was Internet Common Etiquette. It was a YouTuber I really like, and you can see my artwork in the background of his videos. But apart from that, like just on my own with Patreon and with commissions, I would only make like at the most 130 a month, and that was for like 2 solid months out of the 8 years. So I never thought anything I would ever do creative wise would find any success at all. So it's really cool the fact that the OnlyFans, I didn't think it would become what it's become. That's a weird way to say it, but I didn't think we'd get to this point. And I think we're like over 7,000 people on OnlyFans now, and we're up to 57,000 people on Instagram.
Well, people like have so many misconceptions about OnlyFans because they immediately equate it to like the absolute most triple X of all things. But yours is so beautiful, and it's just very well curated artistic pieces. It's like, it's a treat. It's a treat. I'm telling you, it is. All those dudes that are like, ew, OnlyFans girls. Not that.
Well,
She's not that kind of OnlyFans girl.
well, what's funny is I even have something in my latest YouTube video where I talk about that, and I just think it's really, I think it is pretty hypocritical because I think the same men who talk crap about OnlyFans girls and they have that stigma behind that phrase, they're the same people who are asking for free content from sex workers. They're the same people who are being like really sassy and mean to women online. Or yes, they're the same people who are being sassy and mean to women online, but they're also consuming porn all the time. Like it's fine if they come to it, but if they have to be kind to a woman or show any level of respect for a person who is putting in work, because what do they think is going to happen? Like, they want porn, they need porn, and they need sex workers. So where do they think they're going to come from? Like, you need to show respect for these people who are putting in like hours and hours, and it's a job, it's work. There's so much that goes into it. You're not just having sex with someone, and it's not like they seem to think that it's an hour-long video. No, it wasn't. It wasn't an hour-long video. It's an hour-long video after it's been edited a million damn times. But that performance has gone through hours. Like, I also, one of my office jobs, I've never been a performer, but I was a moderator for a very, very large, like the world's largest adult or online streaming platform. And I managed all the models, and just the crap they had to deal with, how mean people were, like other models too, every week.
It's not a good time.
No.
I ate those, and it is, do not recommend. Not fun. So I guess I should start with like where you came from. Like, where did I find this out in the world? I think TikTok, like 2 years ago, right?
I feel like it, because the funny thing is I don't have a lot of people who I hold very close to me. Those that I do call like or refer to as a close friend come from boxing. Like, everything in my life I have right now is because of boxing. Weirdly, the people I know, the jobs I have, the fact that I have this platform, like the ability to do what I do, it does come from boxing. And I never think about like when or where I met someone, and so because I feel like I've known you longer than 2 years, I feel like you've just been here.
I feel like I've just been here in your life, just chilling. But no, I'm pretty sure I saw you first on Instagram on my other account, and then I added you on TikTok.
Reached out.
Yeah. So I was like, my brain melted out of my head. I like girls, and I like girls with muscles. And
I mean,
like,
wouldn't you know?
I think I saw you, and I was like, "Holy crap! Her brain is like my brain." And then we need to hang out. Still not hung out.
I know.
The entire other side of the world. So,
dude, there hasn't been a single creator. I've had photographers and creators come to me, and they're like, "I want to collaborate," or like I talk to them because I want to collaborate. I'm like, "Where do you live?" They're like, "Michigan." I'm like, dude. Why? It's such a pain in the butt. And I was always nervous to reach out to fellow muscle girls because I have before. I've reached out to quite a few of them, and only like 2 have ever responded either positively or at all. I've had one be sassy to me, which is weird. But so that's why I was really, really happy when you reached out, because you were actually the first person to reach out to me ever as like one of the muscle mommies. You're the only one who's ever reached out to me.
I don't know. I just think it's like we are such a rare breed. Like, you, me, Synthetica Lynn, the Little Beef Girl. There's so few of us. There's like a handful of the muscle mommies that are into like the cosplay and dark artistic stuff. I think we gotta gang up and do something.
Oh, I would. Well,
like
your freaking thing was that was so cool. I loved that so much.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas and I have a lot of things I want to do as I'm veering further away from super spice and into more the artistic stuff that makes me happy to do,
Yeah,
because I
it
think
feels
longevity in this business is all about doing what makes you happy.
yeah,
So
no, it is.
like I know some people will probably look at some of your stuff, especially some of my favorite stuff is where you're just like making the most insane faces. That's some
My
of my
coffee
favorite.
faces. That's my favorite photo from the witch set recently. It's gonna come out the day before Halloween. It's coming out, so like this coming Monday, I'm gonna release it. And my favorite is just me on the broom, but like looking over my shoulder.
Just be weird. Just be as weird as fucking possible. And that's how you make money here. How do you make money on the internet? Be a goblin.
I
Just be
am a
weird. You are a very
chaos.
goblin. So I did want to talk about, so we all know you everywhere on every platform as Red's References. And I know a lot of my viewers specifically may not understand what a reference artist is. So if you could run that down for us.
So I actually, funny enough, I have something here to use as an example when I get to that point, because I go on tangents, as if you couldn't tell. uh, so a reference artist, or I would just say a reference model, is someone who creates poses for artists to use. I mean, I've had authors use my images for their characters so they can have an easier time like describing a character. They can look at me and go like, oh, Ginger. I don't know. I don't know what authors do. I'm not an author. But typically it's for an artist or someone who is trying to basically put together poses. Like when I was creating my art, I had quite the time Googling reference photos and poses and different images on Pinterest and Google and everything. And I could never find what I wanted, because it's not just like, oh, I need a character doing this. I
Right.
need a character doing like this angle at this level. And
Yeah.
you can't find that. You can't sit there and take a flat image and move it around. And unless you understand 3D programs and you can come up with a model like yourself and build them and move them around and scale them, it's really difficult. And I didn't start doing that till I had the Patreon. And even then, it's still easier to just strike a pose and take a photo. So I started doing it for me because it helped me with my references. And like an example is the comic I made. Like that's just me. I just changed the facial features a bit. And even in it. And that was one thing I loved. And I really tried to exercise a lot more. I'm always exercising. Haven't been doing that lately. It's doing a lot of work, but
Right.
I
I
like,
feel like your actual job is enough
dude,
physical activity.
I hate it so much. And I love how people are like, oh, manual labor and construction, that's a good workout. No, it's not. It is arthritis and back pains. It's not lifting or cardio or anything. Okay? You see the guys I work with, we're not like jacked because
Yeah.
we're like scraping stuff. It's so dumb. Oh, hey, Horton, what are you doing? My dog's very old. So yeah,
We love cereal talk.
yeah, a reference artist is, or a reference model is just someone who creates images, whether it be it's typically just a pose. That's it. I'm sitting here trying to make it seem more than it is. I'm just taking pictures of myself holding a sword.
She poses for a living.
Yeah. I'm a model, but instead of like advertising stuff, I'm posing so that artists can take that image, piece it together, and like they can Photoshop it, you can crop it, you can do whatever, or just use that still image. You can look and draw. Like this.
Right. I'm like I am the shittiest drawer on the planet, but I can do an okay job if I'm looking at and just trying to recreate the picture.
Yeah, recreation is my jam. I think that's the only way I can really learn anything. If I have to come up with stuff, not necessarily completely original, but if I have to use my like memory library. I can't. It comes out fuzzy. I need references. So that's why I wanted to start making art reference packs, because I understand how difficult it is to find images. And for me, it's so important to have art references. I need to have an image there, and I'll have like 20 images. I'll call it my mood board. I'll have like 20 images of different poses, different angles, different palettes, different everything, so that I can create one piece. And that's how a lot of artists are too.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to make something too that would be cheap. So when I started the OnlyFans and I started making the art reference packs, I was actually going to sell them for $1 because I'm non-nude, and a lot of art reference models, like actual art reference models, from like I think Udemy, I think they have a lot of stuff, or I can't remember, DeviantArt. They're actually nude, but I didn't want to do that, so I just didn't. I just wore like boring sports bras and like boy shorts, and I was like, okay, I'll sell it for $1, but OnlyFans doesn't let you do that because they're like, dude, why? $3.
Gotta be $3. $3
Yeah.
minimum.
So
So we can obviously like look at you and tell that you are in pretty much like peak physical condition. Like, I just stay mad. I just stay mad every time I scroll through Instagram. I look at the fact that you have we can't say what we call them.
I was like, can I say it? If you've ever seen Rick and Morty, what Rick described Jesus's abs as, you'll know.
We'll just call them your gutters.
My gutters.
You always got the V, like, and obliques and chiseled biceps. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you.
Dude, I mean, it's different body types, because like I wish I could thick. Like I had someone call me plump the other day. They love how plump I am. Like, are you high?
Are you right?
Wish. Do you know how I'd love to have a juicy ass?
So there's no wellness. Oh, sorry about that. There's no wellness competing in your future either. Like neither of us have bottom junk.
No.
Specific vision.
Junk. I'm talking about myself. I've seen your poses. Every time I watch your YouTube video and you do a pose and you turn around, I'm sitting there like, I can't say the things I think on here, but yes. Well, it's more like this.
So have you, I don't even think that we have talked about this, like just between us, but have you always been an athlete and athletic? Is that where, like, I know obviously genetics play a part, but like, have you just always been into fitness?
When I was a kid, I was always doing some sport. My two favorites were baseball and soccer, mainly soccer. And I think it was just because at the time being, I think from like 7 to 12, I was 75 pounds. So I was just a speedy little thing. I would just tear up the field, but I was also really good at using my body to check people. So I would take kids down who were like twice my height and just have them like sprawled on the ground and be like, yeah. I was so pumped to have like parents screaming at me like, get the girl. I'm like, get me. I was always so happy to just, I was a competitive little kid. Say something else, but I was super competitive. And then there was I would say from like age 12 to 17, I didn't do anything. It was just family issues and stuff came up, and I just didn't do anything. I tried at one point, and because I had been sedentary, is that the right word?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. I've mixed them up. You'll know me. You know me. Because I was sedentary for so many years, when I tried out for another soccer team, I got rejected because I couldn't keep up with anyone. And it was really like, it was pretty heartbreaking for me because I loved soccer so much. And I was going to be scouted from teams, or teams were scouting me, however you say it. So fast forward, I was 17 and all of my friends were teasing me who were in like lifting classes at school. Yeah. They were making fun of me because I didn't even want to get up to go for walks. I just wanted to sit and draw and do all that. And after a while, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I don't want to go for a jog. I don't like running. I'm just going to do this. And I found Fitness Blender on YouTube. And it's these couple David and Kelly, and they make full free workout videos, and they're the reason I started like exercising.
Oh,
Because all I had was like Instagram, where they're telling women to eat 1,800 calories a day, and then it's all these girls who have like nice thin lean arms and the biggest asses you've ever seen, and I'm like, I want that. I just didn't really understand it, and so over time as I was lifting, I actually, I don't want to say I developed like, it wasn't like eating disorders or anything, but I had a very like poor understanding of food. I just didn't understand like how much you should eat and how you should balance that with exercise. And it wasn't until I met I didn't meet actual trainers until I was around like 20 or so, because I don't count the other people I met because they weren't good. they they teach they should. And those trainers are actually my boxing instructors. And I got to travel around and work with different like national champions and everything. And they really showed me what it was to be fit. And of course, they are very like cardio based.
yeah.
So boxing killed me, because around the time I had met them, I was very into my powerlifting prime. And so I was jacked. I was swole. And even, which is funny because the way I felt about myself then is how I look at myself now. I'm like, still pretty small. And if you compare me now to then, it's like, dude, then you was huge. You were thick. Dude, I was big. But when I threw my very first punch in my boxing class, I couldn't breathe. There was no air.
The stamina for that sport is just like insane.
Dude, my muscles ate my cardio right up. And the one thing I'm happy about, because I'm pretty much retired from fighting. I would really like to fight in like Creator Clash. Yeah.
There have been several people who want very badly you and I. And I'm like, have you guys actually seen me like hit somebody? Like,
I want to teach you so bad. No kitty paws. That's for MMA fighters.
gosh. I'll come out and you can show me how to throw an actual punch. I've always just thrown something or like kick.
It's natural. One thing I haven't been able to teach many girls, because especially at the gyms I would run, I would find any girl who's in the gym who was exercising. I'd be like, hey, do you want to join a boxing class? And I was just please, do you want to join my class? And they all ignored me. They all ran. So I only have one female student, and I have been training her since she was 12, and she just turned 17. So I've been training her for quite some time. I think she had just turned 12 when I met her too. But she's very, very good, especially for a kid. Like she's been doing this for years. Like she could absolutely compete. I kind of suck as a coach because I don't like to push my students to compete, especially not amateur.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
No,
it's a sucky coach. I think that just makes you like. I have very weird feelings as a parent about putting children specifically in competitive sports.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people feel different ways about that. They're like, well, it gives them structure and this, but I think that children need to be children and grow and get their self-confidence from things other than like beating someone else at something, if that makes sense.
No, I can see that. And the other big issue is like they're still developing. Like when I'm training kids, I always tell people, whether it's the kids or the adults that come into my class, like if we are sparring, if we are doing a drill, like the drills are like you have to be light with each other. We're not here to hit each other in the head. We're here to learn something. But you have to aim for each other, because you're doing someone a disservice if you're sitting there punching over their shoulder and like, damn, I'm so good at this. I'm slipping everything. Like, you need to work with each other. But there's a thin line that you should not be crossing. And when you're sparring with the coaches, if you come in and you start like throwing hands and you really try to hurt us, we meet the level you're like coming at us with. And we've had kids, or I've had, and mainly boys. When boys spar with me, because they don't want to spar with me at first, because they're like, well, I don't want to do that. It's lame. It's a girl. And which, thinking of all the stuff I get on Instagram now, I should be flattered. But
Jesus.
what do you mean she? But
Right.
yeah, so they'll spar with me, and they'll try to hit me. And there was one in particular I remember that I thought was really funny. It was like a 13-year-old boy, and he was just throwing overhands and doing whatever. And I kept jabbing him, move him away, and he was just throwing as he was walking into the jab. He was just eating it with a little smile on his face too, like, I'm doing great. And it was his first time sparring, and my coach goes, he goes, just throw it two. He's not getting it. And I just, I threw it two directly in this kid's face, and it just stopped him completely. And he had to breathe.
Yeah.
And like, it's so important. I think it's important for people to learn those things, because I think people, even my female student, Mariel, she said that when she came in, she thought she could fight. She was very, I don't know if she was very cocky. And she thought she could kick some ass. So when she told me when she sparred with me the first time, she said all of that went right out of her head. And I didn't even hit her. It was just defending, because typically it's what we do. You spar with us the first time, we just defend. We tell you what to do, because that's how you're supposed to train people. You're not supposed to hit them the first time they do things. They don't learn from that. You can hurt someone by doing that. That's another thing, is boxing is a dangerous sport. It's really dangerous. You can get hurt. Like one of my coaches just broke a leg, or broke his ankle from a past injury when he was a child, and it had nothing to do with being hit. He just like sat on his ankle wrong. Like, it's just so many things can happen. That people just need.
From talking about like the boxing, can we segue into, which is like one of the things I really want to talk about, which is the gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's been I know we've been talking about it at least a year.
Yeah.
And just the struggles and the roller coaster of having the property, everything that goes into building the gym. Why is it for kids, and why is it free?
Well, it's a team effort, because it's not just me. It's like it's me, Jacob, Eric, and I guess I'm trying to think, Andre, but Andre is really busy. Andre just had a kid, so he's kind of doing his own thing. But it's myself and the other coaches. We spent years training people in different gyms, and we even moved to where Eric lives now in Montana to train and teach out of one of the gyms there. But everybody really, really liked drinking a lot, so there wasn't a lot of class. Ended up coming back over to Coeur d'Alene, because there was a gym in Spokane, there was a gym in Coeur d'Alene, there was a gym in Montana. So it's just been multiple gyms in different places, and those are the most recent ones. But the one here that we're trying to open now, we want to make it free, because we're just tired of gyms like in Vegas and other places where they charge you an arm and a leg to even talk to a coach. Like, it's $100 to even like do mitts, like a couple rounds of mitts with someone. And I think that's really gross. I don't think we should gatekeep boxing.
Right. It's disgusting.
It's stupid. And the other thing is, like, teaching girls. I would love to teach more girls. I would love it if more girls were interested in it. But the problem is, we've had this thing where, people don't want to teach women, or when they do, they don't really give a shit. So they kind of just go, yeah, just, throw your hands. And they don't tell them what to do. And so
it could possibly be that people don't really want women to be able to defend themselves. Could it? It couldn't possibly.
It could be something like that. But the problem is, the result of that is that you have female fighters who look terrible. They don't look good. Like, I think a female fighter who looks incredible is Amanda Serrano. Holy crap, this left-handed fighter, she looks amazing, and she's rear foot heavy, which that's my cup of tea. So I'm biased, but I think she looks great. And there's so few women that know how to box and know how to teach boxing. Like, trying to think. I'm gonna hold something in.
But
I'm holding it in. But yeah, I want to make it free because I don't think people should pay an arm and a leg to learn how to defend themselves or learn how to box. Because boxing originally it's the poor man's sport. It wasn't for wealthy people. It was for people who were trying to make a name for themselves and were being like pushed down by society because people were racist or homophobic and horrible to them. So they had boxing, and boxing is a really, really important sport to people. And now it's being taken over by like YouTubers and people who are just awful with it, which is another reason why myself and the other coaches just want to beat the crap out of YouTubers. We really want to do like the YouTube boxing stuff.
yeah.
I want to do that so badly. So many people who think they can box. It's just, yeah, it's frustrating.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's this whole thing right now, like trying to get Bradley Martin like in an actual ring. It's like, dude, just because you're like 300 pounds and you're jacked as shit,
Oh,
so like, what do you actually can you fight? He
no.
says he. I guess we'll see. I guess we're gonna see eventually. He says he's gonna do.
Have you ever seen Rough and Rowdy? That's what I want to get on at some point. That would be so fun. I would love that. That it's how do I say? It's like Creators Clash, except for like, I mean, they're still not boxers. It's just anyone really, but you have to have a character when you go on. You have to come up with a character. So they'll have.
I love that.
Dude, it gets wild, and I've been in contact with them a couple times, but the last time they contacted me, it was like 2 or 3 weeks from the fight.
That's not enough time.
I have to like schedule. I have a job. I can't just
I have a whole
leave.
life. I have a whole life. I have to do all these things.
Oh, and
So-
I totally blanked on adding, I guess, backtrack. I apologize to Jonathan, whoever edits this. Yeah, with the gym, I wanted to make it free, and the trainers and I wanted to make it free because we don't want to charge people an arm and a leg to learn how to defend themselves and to learn boxing. I really, really enjoy, it's the reason why I'm a personal trainer. I really enjoy seeing, especially kids, like grow, and they develop this sense of confidence that I didn't see there before. Like even student Mariel, when she first came to me, I teased her about it just the other day because she brought it up, but it was more of like a loving tease because she goes, I used to walk, like I was so down on myself. I kind of just walked with my head down. And I remember, and that it made me remember, I was like, yeah, you did. When you came to me, you had like a hunch. It was weird. And I could tell this kid because she wore baggy clothing. She didn't like anybody to see her body. She was just a little chubby kid. And she wore glasses, had like a bowl cut too. I love her. She's so cute. And she was just this awkward little kid. And now, like, people say they mistake her for my sister, and she's getting jacked and everything. And she's so much more confident. Her chest is up, her head's held high, and it's just a really cool thing to see because this boxing, exercise, everything, it boosts people's confidence. It shows them that they can accomplish like a goal. Like it takes a long time to learn how to box. You're not going to learn how to box in like even a year unless you're even that. You couldn't, you just can't. It's like, what's that Bruce Lee quote about like fearing a man who's learned how to punch, or what is that? Throw 1,000 punches.
Right.
Yeah, a single punch 1,000 times. Dude, it's very true. Like learning how to throw a hook, it's going to take you like 5 years. It takes forever. But I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing people's confidence boost and seeing them grow into the person that they're meant to become. I enjoy that a lot.
I love that. I think it's wonderful. I think like finally seeing everything, because you've absolutely worked your ass off, and now kind of stars are aligning and things are falling into place. And you guys do you have the foundation poured yet?
No.
We're still grading. You're still grading.
We're still, we got to put the posts in, but in order to put the posts in, we need to have help. And it's just difficult because it's either just me or like one of the other coaches and then a student. We're just trying to get it to where it's at.
You're really like for fucking real, like step by step, you and 4 other human beings are building a gym with your hands and your money. Bro, you are doing, for all the spiritual people, you are doing the Lord's work. Like, if there is like a Saint Justine at some plaque on a wall somewhere, because not a lot of, well, the thing is, it's like not a lot of people have the, like, you've had the dream, you're grinding it out and doing whatever you have to do to make the thing happen, and the reality is there's just not a lot of people on this planet with the balls to do that. You know what I mean? Because
God, I mean, I understand what you mean too. I just try to be what I want the world to be, and I don't mean to say that to be like I'm such an amazing person, because I get frustrated with things all the time. I'm so tired and annoyed with stuff, but I'm just doing my very best. I'm a hippie, dude. I live in an RV, and I do it so I don't have any debt. Like, I'm just doing everything I can to not want to just die immediately. I'm just trying to save my money. I just want this thing, because I didn't like paying rent at gyms. I didn't like owners taking money when they shouldn't. I didn't like people not paying for classes. I don't like chasing people down for money. So if I'm able to build something that's essentially a giant garage that I just so happen to put equipment in and go, y'all want to come in and let me teach your kids?
yeah.
Like, I just want that. I want that so badly. And after that, I hope to like get the permitting and everything to build a tiny house so I can have my dream of, living next to my work, pretty much. And it's not only going to be a gym, but it's big enough to where I'm able to, in the back, I'm going to have a little wood shop for like carpentry and everything. And then I'll have a tiny studio for my sewing and YouTube and everything. So I'm trying to make everything work to be like as blanking on a word. Damn it. Oh, fucker. It's a word I always forget. Convenient? No. Efficient, yes. I'm trying to make it so everything is as efficient as possible. I have everything at my fingertips, and people can just come and go. If anything, if someone's a close enough friend, I'll give them keys. I don't care.
I love that, and that kind of like segues me into one of my favorite like newer developments that you've done, which is the YouTube and sewing and creating things, because I too am a crafty.
You are, dude. You're freaking perfect. You need to post more. I was so proud of you. That freaking outfit, dude, for your first
course. The Rococo thing.
Yeah. Was that your first corset, the Marie Antoinette one?
Yes, Lord Jesus.
It was so good, though. It was so good. Are you kidding me?
But like, you do just like, you pull this stuff out of, I don't know if you just see, I know the most recent thing you did, which was Sally's patchwork dress, but your spin on it, so it's not Sally's at all. It's definitely just Justine's, is, I don't know, man. It's got me feeling some kind of like excited way to like, you make me want to go create things, because I'm like, oh, I can just see this other, which is what I did with the Marie Antoinette thing. It's like I saw a reference and I was like, I wonder if I can make it slutty. Like, how can we?
Girl, let's be real though. Marie Antoinette, she hikes up that little dress. She's got those garter belts on. She knows what's up.
She knows what's up. She knows what's up. But
no, and that makes me so happy, because like the reason why I started doing this was because if she ever sees this, or if anybody keeps like, if I keep tagging her,
gosh, Rachel
Maxey, dude. I found her YouTube channel when I was working my depressing ass office job when that was my escape from construction for a little bit because it paid a lot better at the time, or at least it was more consistent. So I went with that, and that was the moderation for the porn website. It was horrible, awful. It was the work totally fine. The people were terrible. It was like 90% women, and all of them hated me. They were so mean to me. There were like 3 that were really nice, and they happened to be in like leadership roles, and they were the best. They're my favorite. But everybody else was so sassy with me, and I just couldn't handle that. So like my escape was putting on Rachel under the desk, and I would just listen to her, and I couldn't really see the videos, so I'd rewatch them later. But her showing like how she creates things, and she shows the mistakes, she shows the process, she shows everything. And she was showing her journey as someone who is learning from scratch, which is what I've always done. I always watch people, and I try to replicate things until I'm able to. What's your camera doing?
Being silly.
That always want to squeeze.
So angry. Look, so what had happened was, did you spit your drink out?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Nobody's talking to Alexa back there. Ain't nobody even said her name.
Dang, she's waiting for you to be murdered so she can record it and then not tell the police.
Still just like slowly. So what did happen? We're just gonna go ahead and address it.
Is that a McDonald's? What is that?
No, it's the curtain thing. But what had happened was I'm pretty sure the fattest cat I own tried to climb it and like pulled it down. Whatever. Don't get cats.
Notice it. I think the camera's following your face. Yeah, it is. Girl, you got some fancy setup and you didn't even know.
Jeez.
But yes,
no, my favorite part about your YouTube specifically when you're making things is that you show all of your mistakes, you show your struggling, you show your frustration, and you're like, fuck, I have to undo this. Like you had to strip the seam because you were like, I don't have to. Dude, every single crafty person does this same shit. It's like,
yep,
it's so frustrating, but you leave it in there, and it makes us all feel like we're not fucking up as bad because, like,
it's just so relatable. It's so relatable. It's like, I mean, I take out all the times I say the F-bomb. I take that out because it's a lot, but I don't like going on YouTube and finding tutorials of like professionals where they're like, and this is how you do it here. Because my problem is, okay, sure, that's how you do it, but what if this like issue occurs for me? What do I do then? And so when someone, even if they don't bring up every little thing that could happen, if I see them making mistakes and then, fixing that mistake, even if it's like a cover-up kind of thing, but it still works because it's just sewing. It's not like nobody's gonna know. How are they gonna know? Like, unless you tell them, they're not gonna know. And then even if you do tell them and then you show the end result, the end product, and it looks good, that's so satisfying to see because it tells you that you don't need to be a professional to do things. You don't need to have years of experience. And it's just really cool. And it makes me feel good. So that it's funny because the coaches, like I've always been an artist. I've always drawn things. I've always been interested in costume design and cosplay, but I've never had the money for it. I've never had the time. But mostly I've never had the drive to get me out of like that like fear bubble I've been in. And the coaches all laugh because they're like, it's really funny how like a single YouTuber could like change your life. Like, I know. I hope I can be that for someone else because I see her videos and some other people's videos like hers. And I want to make that too. I want to be the person who motivates people to do things, like to try new things, even if it isn't sewing, even if it's like, I don't know, in the future, I want to do felting. I want to make a little mouth.
Yeah.
Like,
I think really like one of the biggest and best kept secrets to just being an artist in any capacity, whether it be arts and crafts, or a bodybuilder. It's art. You're sculpting a body, modeling, anything, photography. It's just start. Is just
Yep.
start something and try everything. Like
Mhm.
it's art. There's no wrong way to do it. I mean, with bodybuilding,
Yep.
there are some very wrong ways to do it, but like,
Don't do the oil.
so we're doing. We're just like bringing the day. Oh, I'm still so sore from yesterday, but no, just
Your boobies hurt because mine do.
my shoulders hurt. I did some delts yesterday. No, like just do the thing.
Yep.
Everybody always asks me with all like the different stuff I do, because I do several different things. They're like, well, how did you get started? Bro, I just did it. Just like one foot in front of the other. Even if it's
Yep.
wrong, like I think a lot of the beauty in, and especially the crafting that you do, a lot of the beauty is the little places where you fuck up. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I just learned something on accident, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a big thing. Like I need to look more into the waistbands. I need to practice installing zippers. There are tons of tips and tricks to things, and it's all very confusing. But the nice thing is, if you make those mistakes, it's kind of a guide to where you should be looking. Because
Yes.
my biggest issue with starting anything new is I don't know what I don't know. So I don't know what term I should be looking up for this project that I'm doing, or this specific seam. I don't know. I didn't know there were different like sewing machine feet
Yeah.
to create a zipper.
Yeah.
I didn't know this stuff. I had no idea. And now old Spanish ladies on freaking Instagram are just like, I can't understand them, but they're telling me how to do it. I'm like, I love you.
Right?
I can't understand anything, but they're teaching me more than most YouTubers. So and the other thing is, with my YouTube, I'm not a tutorial channel. I don't know these things for surezies. So you're kind of just along for the ride, and it's more of a vlog. And if anything, it's more of, I want my YouTube channel to be seen as a comfort channel and like a craft buddy. I kind of just want people to put me on in the background as they make stuff or seek inspiration from my crafts. That
I
just
love it.
makes me happy.
I love it. I put you on and I drink my coffee and answer emails and do little stuff. And I'm like, she's melting down again. I love it. Like,
My
bro,
favorites.
do you know the amount of excitement I had when I saw you put the piece of fabric that you lost on the skirt? I was like, she fucking found it. Like, because you lose every.
Is it really bad that I don't remember what you're talking about?
You texted me when you were starting this project, and you're like, I have lost this one specific piece of fabric. I have looked in my entire house. I have looked everywhere. How can it not be anywhere? It's not like I have a lot of space for it to be. And then I saw you using it in the video, and I was like, oh, she found it. Where was it?
It was inside of a sheet. It's like rolled up. This is my life. This is how everything is around me. I'm so bad at it. I would say I'm good at organizing. I like to be clean and move stuff and have little boxes and nooks and crannies for things. But the problem is those nooks and crannies get switched around and they move places because they have like interdimensional powers or something. And I can't find anything. So it's just... and I will black out. I'm really bad about that. Like, I don't remember things a lot of the time. So if I put something away and it's from like one of the other trainers, they're like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. They know it's gone forever.
It's gone forever.
It's gone forever.
Legit forever. All right. We have talked for a friggin' hour.
Yay!
But I do want to close up with letting everyone know where we can find you on your Insta and all your little socials.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk any about like, I know you have codes and things now.
Yes, I do. So I I have a main website, so it's kind of like Linktree, but it's even fancier than Linktree because Linktree doesn't let me customize it very much. I know, it's pretty. It looks like a real website. So it's beacons.ai/REDSREFERENCES. And yes, it's AI like AI systems. So you go to there and it links you to all of my things. It links you to the OnlyFans, to my Twitter, Instagram, to my, if you want to donate to the gym, there's lots of links there. You can just like hit up Cash App and all that stuff. Anything over $50, you'll get a month of content. So you can pick which month. I have things saved from April to now. And I have it set up to where that's just going to be that way forever now. And it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And then, for my Instagram, I'm mainly on there right now since that's pretty much that's where I'm putting all of my efforts in because I want brands to notice me, and it's also it's definitely there's an influx now. So I'm working with a brand called Your Finery, and I'm going to be working with another brand next month called Lace Made, and it's for all my girly cottagecore people and anybody who likes royalty core and wants to feel like a queen. For Your Finery, you can use my code REDSHARVEST10 for 10% off at checkout. And dude, they have so much.
They have, bro. I have a shopping cart. I legit have a shopping cart because I was like, it's beautiful.
I can only imagine the outfits you'd be putting together with it. With just your mini internet
I'll
vibe.
text.
But yeah.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah. So you can contact me via Instagram or anything. I also have an email, reddoodlesart@gmail.com. And apart from that, just beacons.ai/REDSREFERENCES.
Yeah, and I'll drop your Beacons link in like the first comment. Because they've not decided to let me put links in the description yet.
Weird. Like this is for YouTube, right?
This is for YouTube, yeah. I've done all of the things and sent them all of my things, my stuff and my things, and they've just not told me that I can put links in the description.
That's so weird because I'm not very big on YouTube, and I put Your Finery. Like I'll put their website.
And you can click it?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, see, it's like you can't use clickable. We can't do clickable links until you have this blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
yeah, because they're like, well, I'm not trustworthy, but we can trust you enough to copy paste.
Can't trust you not to show people's buttholes. Like, I just.
Oh, one of my favorite seamstresses on YouTube. I think Bernadette. Pretty sure that's her name. I say my favorite YouTubers. I just started watching her, but she cracks me up. In every single one of her videos, in the description, it says link to my nudes. And when you click it, it goes to like a cat or like some like awful meme.
I love that.
I need to put that there.
Troll the internet.
I need to definitely do that. I love that so much.
All right. I've had so much fun. We have never talked this long before in our whole lives because we are so busy.
I know.
But I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know my sweet, sweet, sweet girl, Justine. I am going to drop her Beacon link in not the description box, obviously, but the first comment down below so you guys can find her. Please follow her on Instagram. I'm also going to add her YouTube link so you guys can watch her make all of the cool crafty stuff. And if you can at all, please donate to the gym because I think it's just the coolest fucking thing, man.
I'm trying.
I'm so proud of you. I'm like,
Thanks.
I don't get like emotional or anything, but it is so cool to see someone trying to do something good. As shitty of a time as we're having right now. Like you're just out here. You're out here with your little flag, like, I'm gonna do something good.
I feel like it's a really tiny flag, but it's mainly like a flag to ask my neighbors to not be mean to me.
Yeah. You got your armor on, you've got your little flag that says free boxing gym, and you're just running into the big crowd of people. You know, you are Jon Snow, and all of us following you are the horses coming from the side.
Now we gotta do a Game of Thrones photo shoot now. You need to be Jon Snow. I'll be the redhead.
No. Do you know who I am?
Who? Bren? Bree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bren?
Always.
Bren? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who is she? Oh, I'll be the bearded guy! Yay!
Okay. Coming soon. I have to fly to Idaho.
Yeah, please.
Great. I love you so much. Thank you for doing this for me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna stop recording.
I hope you guys enjoyed sitting down with us and learning all about my friend Justine. I'm going to put in the first comment and pin it all of her links so you can follow her on all of the social media platforms. And, you know, if you're feeling really froggy, you can donate to that free gym she's building. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a fantastic thing for you guys to see more of the really cool stuff that women are doing in the content creator space. So hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything, and please go show my buddy some love. Red's references.